trying to be in a relationship and trying to find someone who's going to love and accept you and not say, yeah, I can handle it, and then just disappear on you. Because I have no anger about the guy who infected me until every time a relationship somebody leaves me. And I'm like, I'm alone because I do choose to tell.
For the first time in my life, I really didn't know which direction to go. When the nurse told me I needed to go home and get my affairs in order, I really didn't know what that meant. My life was finally where I had always hoped it would be, and he was telling me that my life was ending, and I didn't know what I should do, who I should talk to, who I should tell. I didn't know anything about the disease. All I knew is that there was no treatment and there was no cure.
Before that, before being diagnosed, I didn't really have any background on what exactly HIV was. I mean, I knew that it was a disease or a virus, but I didn't know to the full extent what it meant. So fear was the biggest. I wasn't sure how I was going to deal with it. All I knew was that I needed to see a doctor and figure out what was going to happen next. So I wasn't really denying it. The crazy thing is, I don't remember now because that was all really cloudy. But before I'd even been tested, I had a dream that I had gone to get tested, and I found out that I was HIV positive. And even still, I didn't go get tested. So, I don't know. It was just all really weird to me. But I think I handled it pretty well. And I'm dealing with it now.
Their doctor down in San Diego told us that we need to eat right, we need to exercise, how to diet, how to really take care of ourselves to keep our immune system strong. And that was all we had to fight it until I found out that my good friend from college had become a doctor. And that was Scott Hitt. And about the same time, AZT hit the market. And I started taking AZT in '89. And let's see, that was a horrible drug. It provided us hope, but it made you bloated, made you nauseous. I hated taking it, thinking that this disease was forcing me to do this. So it had to be mind over action, really. The fact that I'm doing this, I looked at them as vitamins, but I started off at three capsules a day, and then ended up at 20 capsules a day, because they really didn't know how much would be effective to slow the degradation of your immune system.
That it's not, like the TV says, a manageable disease. When I do presentations in schools, I say, the news says it's manageable, and then I pull out a baggie of all my medications. I say, this is what I take, these are my HIV and AIDS drugs, this is what I take every day. And then I said, but that's not all I take. And I bring out another baggie. These are the medications I take for the side effects from these medications. Then I open up my purse and I pull out Imodium, and I pull out Tylenol for headaches, and there's antidepressant medications. And then, you pull out other things. It's not too cool if your purse falls over and there's an extra pair of underwear in there in case you have an accident. Things like that. That's all comes along with it. And if you think that's a manageable thing, I don't think that's manageable.
I feel that I'm triumphing over this disease. One, because I've been here 24 years after being told I had a year to live. And so I've been actually infected for probably 29 years at this point. And I'm doing very well. Actually, I have more T cells today than I've ever known I've ever had. Okay, so that part's really good. But for me, it was when my partner died in 1990. That's when it really sunk in that that we are just another human being that got this disease, and this disease is going to do the same thing to us that it's doing to everyone else. And when I lost my partner, I realized that I really felt like my life was over. I felt like the worst thing that could ever happen to me just happened. I lost the most important person in in my life, and at that point, I promised myself that I would live my life as openly and honestly as I could in memory of him, and know that I have to help make a difference for the time period that I'm allowed to be here. And that's why I started stretching my comfort zone and doing things that I believe in and trying to get involved in the community and making sure I stand up for opinions and for people that are in need and not be afraid to be one of those pioneers. And I got to tell you, when you live your life without fear and you really, really stretch your comfort zone and do the things you believe in, life becomes really, really good. I mean, the quality of life that I've had in the last 20 years has been better than I've ever thought I would have in my life.